Hello folks, and welcome along to Goodison Park, where it's really judgment day for Southampton as they battle to get out of their relegation dogfight. They won 2-1 in their last match against Bournemouth a week ago. Now they need to repeat the trick away to Sam Allardyce's men. But it also involves Burnley, this, because Burnley, of course, if Southampton were to win or they ended a draw, Burnley would be actually confirmed as being in the Europa League next season without kicking a ball tonight. So there's plenty to play for here, live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Today we've seen a dramatic late goal for West Bromwich Albion as they beat Tottenham. They keep their faint survival hopes alive. Earlier today though, Stoke, their Midland rivals, were relegated. Led 1-0 at the break, but lost 2-1 to Crystal Palace, who stay up themselves mathematically. Bournemouth beat Swansea 1-0, so Swansea now have got that big winner-takes-all showdown against Southampton at the Liberty next week on Tuesday. West Ham are safe, winning 2-0 at Leicester, whose future under Claude Puel's future is surely up in the air now. Watford beating Newcastle 2-1. And that is what happened in the Championship, or in the League 2. Barnet were relegated on goal difference. Same amount of points as Morecambe, but Morecambe staying up because they drew, rather than they drew and got the point they needed. But they had, as I say, they had a significantly good goal difference. Right, let me bring you the two lineups for this afternoon's clash, because we're still waiting for the teams to emerge. So let me give you the two lineups very quickly. So it's Jordan Pickford for Everton. We're going to start with Everton and the bench as well. So it's Jordan Pickford, one of the England goalkeepers. He starts in goal. And then there's a back four of Seamus Coleman, Phil Jagielka, former Burnley player Michael Keane, and Leighton Baines. Drissa Gana-Gaze, Schneiderlin, Vacic, and Tom Davis, and Bolasie are the midfielders, with Czech Tozan up front. On the bench for Everton, not a bad little bench this, really. Martina, Nias, Klassen, Funes Mori, Robles the keeper, Kenny, and Baghamin. So this is the team that Mark Hughes will hope they can get the points they need. It's Southampton with McCarthy in goal, Varanek, Yoshida, Hoyt, and Soares, and Cedric at the back. Romeo, Lemina, Bertrand, and Tadic, and Oyebie as well, with Charlie Austin leading the line up front. On the bench for Southampton, Stevens, Long, James Ward-Prowse, Gabbiadini, Nathan Redmond, McQueen, and Forster. So no place for Fraser Forster, who was once tipped to be an England goalkeeper of the future, but he's fallen out of favour at Southampton because Alex McCarthy has been preferred. We're waiting for kick-off here. So a Southampton win would actually relegate West Brom. They're still hanging on in there. That was a terrific afternoon at the down there. Where there's League 2 action. I'll try and keep you abreast of that. Or if Rossi's on his way home, he could try and enlighten us with that. Yes, we'd love to hear from you guys today. This is a big game, both for Everton and Southampton. Everton can still mathematically catch Burnley in 7th place, but it will need them to take maximum points and then score 15 goals without conceding one in their last 2 games to topple Burnley, who occupy the 7th spot. But we'd love to have it done today. I tell you now, it would be wonderful if we could see that happen. We're still waiting for the teams to emerge here at Goodison, but what I will say is, here they are now. The teams are just about to emerge. Referee Jonathan Moss is the referee, and Southampton know that a win will keep their chances of survival. They've been buoyed, of course, by the news that Swansea lost earlier today. But this is a big opportunity for Southampton. They're away from home, however. It's never easy going away to Goodison Park. But Mark Hughes has got a very good knack, and he's already seen one of his old teams relegated today, Stoke. The last thing he would want to see right now is being responsible for sending another team down, and that is Southampton. So atmosphere as the Z card's being plays out at Goodison Park. It's always Goodison Park, you've got to say, it's one of the great traditional football games, a bit like Turf Moor in a way, but it's got a great sense of history about it. It's got a great sense of nostalgia about it. It's a fantastic it's always a fantastic occasion, and a marvellous occasion to boot. But a terrific atmosphere here at Goodison. As I say, we're just waiting as the lineups are now being announced, but we're waiting to kick off here. This is a big game for Southampton. They were in Europe not so long ago, believe it or not, and but Mark Hughes has got a fantastic atmosphere going, and that win was a really crucial one against Bournemouth last week. And I'm feeling fantastic after my little rant last week regarding the Burnley, the Goodison Boing situation, and that's why I wasn't commentating last week. I was actually at Turf Moor, watching the game. Absolutely anonymous is the first to say hello. Good sunny spring evening, JB. Well, it's been absolutely lovely. It's been glorious, and Goodison Park, when it's like it is in the sunshine, is always good. We're just waiting to get underway here at Goodison. As I say, the tea time kick-off. Remember, Stoke have already been relegated. Remember, West Brom are still hanging on by a fingernail. Late drama at the Hawthorns this afternoon, where Jake Livermore, in amongst the scrambled in a goal as well to keep West Brom alive. Stoke got relegated today. They've naturally gone bottom now because of West Brom's 3 points. And they were beaten, as I say, 2-1 today by Crystal Palace, and they led 1-0 through a Shaqiri free kick, but then Patrick Van Aanholt got the winner 4 minutes from the end. And Stoke City, after 10 years in the top flight, are now back in the Championship next season. Southampton are shouting, they're screaming, they're hoping their team can get a result here. I remember so many years ago, actually, they used to suffer relegation scraps every other season. This is a big moment now. So the Southampton as a club have got experience. As Southampton in the red and whites get us underway. As you look at Everton, of course, in the blue. Southampton attacking the Gladys Street end in the first half. And this should be a real tough assignment for them, there's no doubt about that. But Everton, if they fail to win, Burnley will be confirmed mathematically playing European football. This is why we've chosen this game above anything else today, because obviously there's the relegation element with Southampton being stuck in the bottom three, but boy, buddy, the fact then they were asking for a free kick there, Southampton. It did look like a free kick to me, but they've got the ball here with Charlie Austin, ex-Claret, of course. Could he do his old side a favour? Now then, chance here for the early cross from Suarez into the penalty area, and it's knocked away once more. Good start this from Southampton. They're looking up for this in the early stages, and the ball back with goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. With just 58 seconds, gone on the clock. So Southampton 0, Southampton 0, Everton 0 at Goodison Park. Everton attacking the Park Road stand in the Park stand in the first half, or the Howard Kendall stand as it's now known in memory of the great Everton manager who presided over their first title win since 1970 back in 85. They were a club on the decline when he took over. It took him a couple of years to rebuild Everton, and they had a really good team. They had Neville Southall, Derek Mountfield, Kevin Radcliffe at the back, Peter Reid, the engine in midfield, Kevin Sheedy and Trevor Stephen, and of course Andy Gray and Graham Sharp, his deadly strike partnership. And of course Gary Lineker was later to come to the club as well, and he scored 40 odd goals in one season he had at Everton. Southampton coming forward here again, and the ball just lost in the sun there a little bit, and here come Everton with Jusagana Gay, and Gay plays the ball over to the far side, and here comes Coleman down this far side, and Schneiderlin, former Southampton player, would like to put one on his old club this afternoon. This is Leighton Baines Former Wigan man. It's kept that in on the near side. Baines touching it back in there towards Schneiderlin, who's wearing the number 2 jersey today. Schneiderlin just getting the ball back, and it's difficult for me to identify players because it's very bright sunshine here at Goodison Park this afternoon on the East Merseyside. Of course, we've got Liverpool in the European Cup final, of course, and you'll be able to hear that in just over 2 weeks' time on the JB Claret YouTube channel. As I hear the shot goes wide there, and it was Tom Davis with his left foot that just went agonisingly wide of the far post. First real shot of the game, and he hit this terrifically well, Tom Davis. Good left-footed. I think McCarthy was quite confident there that that was going just wide of the target, but it is a goal kick. Alex McCarthy, who's taking the number 1 jersey from Fraser Forster these days. Southampton showing their fighting spirit under Mark Hughes. They lost the FA Cup semi-final a couple of weeks ago. To be fair, they put in a very spirited performance in that semi-final, and just came up short in the end, losing to 2-0 against Chelsea in that semi-final. And here they come down that left-hand side once again, and a good ball in towards the penalty area, and it just couldn't find a man at the far post. It was Bertrand's cross from the far side, and he had oceans of space as well. Had the freedom of the left hand side of Goodison Park, and he whipped in a very good cross, but Cedric couldn't get on the end of it or to hook it back into the danger area, and it is an Everton throw. Baines to take it. Still 0-0 here at we've been playing for only over 4 minutes here at Goodison Park. 0-0 between Everton and Southampton. Southampton need to get something here. A win would actually take them out the bottom 3. 2 points was the gap between them and Swansea. Swansea, remember, lost at Bournemouth today. So this is an important one. And of course, if Southampton were to win, West Brom would be relegated as well. So many permutations for this tea time kickoff. And of course, Southampton and Swansea would face off in a big match on Tuesday night, which could have permutations. Whoever wins or loses that game, if it goes to a draw, then it will go to the last day. Here's Leighton Baines now for Everton, and once again they're just spraying the ball around. It's Schneiderlin now against his old club. He left Southampton to go to Manchester United. It didn't quite work for him at Old Trafford. Good football again by Everton once more. There's been a little bit of murmurs of discontent since Big Sam Allardyce took over. Apparently there's a survey done, and to see whether Allardyce was satisfying everybody at Goodison Park. It looks as if, and that's sort of undermining the job that Sam Allardyce has actually done at the club, because as that kick from Pickford goes to the other goalkeeper at the other end, Alex McCarthy, there's Farhad Mashiri and the actual chairman himself, Bill Kenwright, who's for the last few years has come under a little bit of fire, but it's Farhad Mashiri now who's in complete control. He's now the owner of Everton Football Club, as Everton look to come forward with Bolasie, as Bolasie gets the ball into that penalty area, and again there were 2 or 3 blue shirts going into that penalty box, and it's hooked away by Southampton in the red shirt. And they're charging forward in great numbers, and they might get a free kick here. It's about halfway inside the box. It was Dusan Tadic with the run through the middle, and it was brought down by Schneiderlin. No Wayne Rooney. If you wonder where Rooney is, he's out with a knee problem, and he's not in the 18 today. Southampton have a free kick about 20 yards inside the Everton half. Absolutely no one disagrees that the survey on Big Sam was disrespectful. He's got them safe, even though it wasn't pretty. The free kick has actually gone back, in fact, for Southampton. They've gone backwards instead of forwards, although Everton did bring a lot of men behind the ball. But that's just a summary of how Big Sam Allardyce goes around with his tactics as well. It all depends on how the situation expires, as Cedric tries to keep it in on that near side, but Vlasic was there for Everton as well. Cedric takes the throw in. That's surely got to be a free kick there. John Moss right on the spot. Johnny on the spot. Certainly a foul there. And Vlasic We've played just over 7 minutes here at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Southampton 0. Everton had a really bad start to the season under Ronald Koeman. Was sacked halfway through, I think it was maybe October, November. They took about 7 games in the day with Unsworth to actually find a successor. A lot of people said that Unsworth should have been given the job. It took his time to get going, Unsworth, in the caretaker role. It took them 7 weeks. They tried to court our Sean Dyche for a time, but he signed a new deal with Burnley, thankfully. And if Southampton or a draw was to happen, he would be having a pub named after him in Burnley, the Princess Road, just a stone's throw away from Turf War. At the start of the season, when Burnley were 4th at one stage, I think in early December, when they beat Stoke. So that's it's knocked away. Now Southampton can break. There's a player gone down, but the referee was quite happy that was quite legal. 8 minutes gone, 0-0. Yeah, just going back to this Sean Dyche pub renaming. The Princess Road made a plea if Sean Dyche got them into Europe, that the pub will be renamed the Dyche or the Royal Dyche. It looks like it's going to become a reality if Everton don't win here today. It would take the pressure off Burnley, who have to face off with Arsenal tomorrow in Arsene Wenger's final game. Here come Everton now, trying to build something down that far side, and now Southampton intercepting, but here's Tadic, centre circle. It's a long ball towards Austin, who was offside, I think, but the ball gone straight into the arms of Pickford anyway. So John Moss, the referee, quite rightly and sensibly allowing the play to continue, and I think that's quite right of John Moss to do that. And now Vlasic again for Everton, trots over halfway, goes to the near side. Baines checks and then plays it in towards Tom Davis. Davis having to pirouette and plays the ball back to Schneider, just on halfway, just to the left of the penalty area, and he left of the centre circle, I should say. Now Vlasic again, number 27. Baines on the overlap, right on that left-hand touchline, practically hugging that touchline. Vlasic gets the cross into the penalty area, header one. At the back post, it was Balassi with the header, and it was straight into the arms of McCarthy. 9.5 minutes gone. Everton 0, Southampton 0 here at Goodison Park, and it's a good even start to the game. Good feel to it, and I think both sides are going to absolutely enjoy this today. I think, although the pressure's more on Southampton than it is Everton, they need to get a positive result, not lose. So far they're going in there with a very good attitude. Mark Hughes will certainly give them that opportunity to do that. At the moment still 0-0, and Tadic playing the ball back. Now a chance here for Højbjerg to come forward, and now Tadic again for Southampton. Still Everton 0, Southampton 0. We've had 10 minutes here at Goodison Park, and the ball in towards Højbjerg once again. Bertrand is there far side again, nobody picking him up. And well, I thought he might have crossed that in, Bertrand, I have to say. And then a loose ball is almost picked up. Tadic wins that back and gets it back to the halfway line. And once again Southampton were trying to build again, but once again they've been shoved back to halfway line. They have recaptured a lot of money from Liverpool sales of people like Nathaniel Klein and Adam Lallana and Virgil van Dijk in the January window. Selling players like of their calibre hasn't helped, but sometimes Southampton fans should be careful what they wish for. They had Puel as a top manager. He got them to 8th position in the Premier League last season, and got them to a League Cup final. He got sacked. I think if Southampton were to go down, I think the board are to blame for getting rid of one man. I think that could have really took them further forward. I think Puel would have done things differently had he been in charge, but Pellegrini didn't work out, and here they are with Mark Hughes, and at the moment they're playing a really good style at the moment, and here they come again with Højbjerg far side. Bertrand has it now on the far side, and a good ball forward again. Southampton really having a good go. Panini's on tonight, and there's a foul there, free kick to Everton. And I think it's Romeo who's brought it down his man. I think it might have been Romeo actually. It was a very seismic challenge there. Panini's on. I hope it's a good game for you. I hope so. Well, I hope from an entertainment for you boys. It's not been a bad start to the game. And if Everton don't win, Burnley are in Europe. So please do forgive me, listeners, if I do a little bit of a jig of a jant if it ends a draw at the final whistle. It's that time of year when things just start going a bit crazy. But this is Seamus Coleman crossing towards the penalty area. Header one, and on the roof of the net from something like 8 yards out. It was Tossen with the header. Check Tossen with the header. He scored quite a number of goals. He scored against Burnley at Turf Moor back in early March, if I remember. And Panini's celebrating the fact that Stoke have gone down. It's always, I have to say, it is a bit sad though. Stoke have been a very good regular for the Premier League. They have been run terrifically well by Peter Coates. There's Wayne Rooney there with his sons, and Colleen Rooney's there too. It's the Rooney family outing, isn't it? Never mind the Brady bunch, it's the Rooney bunch. Here's Michael Keane for Everton. 0-0 here. We're in the 14th minute, I should say, of the first half here at Goodison Park. And Theo Walcott isn't there either. He's in the director's box. And Championship play to a close. League One is actually taking place, and if anyone can keep me abreast of all the League One scores, I'd be absolutely grateful to you for all that. I know Russ is at the Rotherham game tonight, cheering on Oldham. Yeah, good club, good little club. They were in the FA Cup semi-finals over 20 years ago. They got to a Lidl's Cup final back in 1990. It would be a shame to see them drop to the third tier. They had a good side in those days under Joe Royle, former Evertonian, of course. Everton have a throw down on the near side, and absolutely none of us will keep us up to date. I'll read out the scores as well. That would be fantastic, because that's the final day. There's some of course Wigan and Blackburn are challenging for the League One title. There's the playoff issues still to be sorted out in that, and of course there's a toss up between Oldham and Rochdale to see who would go down to League Two, and I sincerely hope not Oldham, because I actually have a lot of time for the town. I've got some good friends in that town, and it would be a travesty to the town of Oldham if they were to become a League Two club, and I would be really gutted if that was the case. They're a nice it's a nice town, and love going there to see my friend who happens to be female. With 15 minutes gone, and it's a great town. And it would be sad for the town if they were to drop into the third tier. They should be a lot higher than what they are in the football pyramid. They are a good little club, and I certainly have a little soft spot for them. Panini will be happy because Gillingham are beating Plymouth 1-0. Plymouth, of course, battling for those playoffs, of course, and Panini typifies that. So 1-0 to Gillingham in that game. All games in League One, kicking off at 5:30, same time as this game, which is 15 minutes old. It's Everton 0, Southampton 0. Wimbledon have taken the lead against already relegated Bury by 1-0. Here comes Southampton now, down the left-hand side. The flag I think has gone up for offside. Yes, it has. That was a very close wrong thing there, because I thought Romeo had just broken the offside trap for a second. Portsmouth beating Peterborough, by the way, by 1-0, so the scores are definitely coming in at the moment. So last day, remember Barnet are relegated from the Football League. They go through to the Conference, and Blackburn, unfortunately for me, are winning 1-0 against Oxford, and I sincerely hope Wigan win the league. Here's David's playing that ball in there. So that's the latest scores we've got at the moment. Here at Goodison Park in the Premier League. Big game for Southampton more than it is for Everton. They're safe, and barring a miracle, I don't think they're going to catch Burnley in the race for 7th in the Europa League. But a draw would be good enough for Burnley to qualify today for Europe without kicking a ball. They play at Arsenal tomorrow. We will play at Arsenal tomorrow as Hoyt goes in there, and I thought that was an unfair tackle, but the referee allowing it to go on. They've lost the ball. Velasquez back to Schneiderlin, deep inside Southampton territory. Now then, what can Everton make of this advantage? Oh, that's a poor ball into was, and Drisser Gay couldn't take that too well. Keane is there, and there's an injury down there. It's Ryan Bertrand involved, and he's feeling the strain. Went in with a challenge. He clearly won the ball there against Schneiderlin. And I think that should be a Southampton 3 kick, really. But Bertrand's a tough cookie. Carries on. Mark Hughes, passionate guy. He said that yeah, the survival was the important thing. It was a big game for them at St Mary's last week. They had to win that game against Bournemouth, and they did just that superbly. But with Brighton and Bournemouth now both up in the mix, that's out to play for a throw-in on the far side. It has annoyed me a little bit, Brighton staying up, but let's give them credit for beating Manchester United. And it was a perfectly good goal, and they scored against United, who were very, very off colour. But that still doesn't mean I've got complete and utter respect for them, because what after they falsely accused the Burnley fans of last week is a disgrace, and what they called our own town was an absolute disgrace as well. So they have gone down in my estimation. But we have another South Coast club, and it's a club of more tradition than what Brighton have had. Southampton, Premier League, have been the South Coast's most prolific top flight side for the last 40 years or more. FA Cup winners, of course, back in '76, but on the brink here of relegation unless they can get a good result today. Remember, they've got to go to Swansea on Tuesday night, and what a game that promises to be, as that ball is swept back towards Jordan Pickford by Michael Keane, and that's knocked away by Pickford, and Pickford's kick is nodded back with great interest by Hoyt. Still the scores are exactly the same. Remember, League 2 has been decided. Lincoln sneaked into the playoffs. Commentary in the playoffs. Notts County are in the playoffs. Exeter, I think, are in the playoffs as well. I might be wrong there, but and of course Accrington Stanley, champions. Can you believe that? Champions. That's the shot coming in. It was from absolutely nothing. Pickford having to punch the ball. It was something like 20 yards on. It was Charlie Austin with the shot. Absolutely under nothing. Header only half away by Schneiderlin, and Austin allowed the freedom of the edge of the area there by Michael Keane, and he smashes that with terrific effect. But then the goalkeeper just fists it away. Please do not put any live links up on, or you will get thrown off. You will get deleted. Meanwhile, Southampton go forward, and a flag has got up for an infringement. In fact, it's an offside given, and a free kick to Everton. But Jordan Pickford there, look at this, our follies. Jordan Pickford here, this looks a goal all the way. The way Austin has hit that, but Pickford has pulled off a marvellous save, and Sam Allardyce standing motionless as Mark Hughes rues that opportunity for Charlie Austin. 20 minutes gone, we're coming out towards halfway here at Goodison. 0-0 Everton Southampton. What a first half it has been so far. No goals, but plenty of excitement and plenty of drama, as you would expect. As we come towards the end of the season, the Premier League draws to a close a week tomorrow. The Championship regular season draws to a close tomorrow, with playoff issues still to be decided. And of course the battle between Cardiff and Fulham for that second automatic promotion spot behind the runaway champions Wolves. What did I think of West Bromwich Albion's last guest winner? Well, it keeps the interest very much alive, certainly from West Brom's point of view. But it also puts pressure on Swansea and of course Southampton, who would have been happy at this point with both teams getting relegated. But then again, West Brom could still go down, unfortunately, if Southampton win. A draw though would still keep West Brom very much alive, but then it would all depend on whether what happens really on Tuesday down at the Liberty Stadium, as Yoshida is penalised 10 yards inside his own half, and it's Czech Tosin. He's fouled here, just pushes him there as an arm across his body. Definite foul there on Czech Tosin, and still 0-0 here, and it's not been it's not been a bad game. It's not been pretty, but at this stage of the season, it doesn't need to be pretty at this stage of the season. 0-0. Everton 0, Southampton 0. Free kick comes in towards the penalty area. Key attacks it at the far post, but doesn't get enough purchase on the header. And behind for a goal kick. The referee having a good first half so far. Jamie Carragher in the crowd there, and taking in a bit of football this afternoon. I think it might be... No, it's not Jamie Carragher, sorry. It's Graham Sharp. I do apologise. And Graham Stewart. Here's Alex McCarthy now in all orange with the free kick up towards the 3/4 of the field. Header one again. Cedric and Davis Cedric battling there. Baines can get it away for Everton up towards the halfway line, up towards Czech Tossin, halfway inside the Southampton half. Tossin having to put the ball back towards Schneiderlin. Schneiderlin looks like he's going to be the anchor man in that midfield there as Coleman makes the break forward. Gillingham have been pegged back. Plymouth have equalised. Gillingham 1, Plymouth 1. Panini won't be happy about that as Austin tries to get on the end of that through ball by Tadic, but was cut out quite convincingly by another former Burnley man, Michael Keane. That'll be a little bit of a battle between two former Burnley players, Charlie Austin of course and Michael Keane, who really hasn't lived up to the hype since his £25 million move from Turf Moor last summer. But still, it's Everton 0, Southampton 0 here at Goodison Park here on Merseyside. I don't know what the Everton fans are thinking with their Merseyside neighbours across Stanley Park now in the European Cup final. They play Real Madrid, of course, in late May, and you'll be able to hear that in full only on the JB Claret YouTube channel. The European Cup final will be live. The FA Cup final will be live in 2 weeks' time as well. That will be a cracker between Manchester United and Chelsea. We'll have a midweek game for you as well, and then of course there's the England internationals. I'm going to have Chris Whiteman commentating on a couple of those for you, and Matt Claret of course to you and I, and of course we'll have as that ball comes in towards the penalty area and it's nodded away and it's still in play. I think the ball's still bouncing there and it's out for a goal kick to Southampton. And I'll check Tossin wants a corner, and I've got to say it did look like it could have been a corner as Baines crossed it in. Comes off a Southampton head last. It comes off late last. I think that should be an Everton corner. Yes, it should be a corner. I think John Moss has got that one wrong. That did clear. I don't know what John Moss was seeing there. He must have seen something we hadn't, because the replays certainly. Can we stop with the links, please? Please stop with the links every time in the comment section. Can we stop it with the links? You discuss the football. The rules are rules, and you will be thrown off YouTube at half time when I have my 5-minute break, just so you know. So you won't. The comment section is not to put links on. I should remind everybody, it's to talk about the game. It's an audio commentary. If you want to run the risk of being banned by the Premier League, then be my guest, but not on my channel. Meanwhile, whilst I was rollicking the person that sent that link there, it's a free kick to and LTF is on, so that's Chris, of course, our YouTube channel, of course, as the free kick is taken quickly into the 6-yard box. It went, and I think it was Bertrand with the cross, and absolutely anonymous. And LTF, of course, well, I'm going to say Mad Claret 94 because it is a combination of myself and Chris Whiteman, and Chris will be commentating with me as well on this YouTube channel when the World Cup comes around. We're going to be we're attempting to do 40 games, 40 commentaries from the World Cup, and Chris is going to help me with some of those as well, because let's face it, we're never going to do 64 games because some of them in the final group games will kick off in exactly the same time. So we're looking forward to that, and we'll get a proper announcement after the European Cup final, of course, what our plans actually are, and of course we'll have some special LTFs as well in the build up to the World Cup. I'm sure we will. Meanwhile, here at Goodison Park, remember, just to remind Chris, if he's just joined us, it's Southampton 0, Everton 0. We played 27 minutes. Now if it's a draw or a Southampton win, just to let you know, Chris, that Burnley will be mathematically playing Europa League football next season. Again, more links. We don't need more links. Stop the links. You're distracting me from the game. 0-0 here. Here comes Southampton. Shot comes in, and the goalkeeper smelt it. It comes to us inside the area. Ball play back, chance for Southampton. And it was hooked away again, and then the shot back in once more. Austin there again. And now Bertrand deep in the Everton penalty area. Still 0-0. What? How is that not 1-0 to Southampton? They're playing with real vigour here. They're playing as if their lives depend upon it, and I'm hoping they win, because from a Burnley perspective, but it will keep the relegation race alive. Remember, West Brom hooker by crook are still hanging on by a fingernail. They won earlier today 1-0. And they deserved it against the Tottenham side, who are really ragged and poor. Here's Cedric on the near side for Southampton. Just to remind you, Southampton in the first half, attacking the Gladys Street in the first half. Ball forward, and again, good defending this time by Everton. But then, again, Davis made an absolute mockery of playing that out. But Pickford there, it was Romeo's left-footed shot, gets a deflection off Jagielka, which makes it so awkward for Pickford, who actually, I probably didn't give him enough credit, and I should have done, really, because I didn't see the deflection initially because of the sun here at Goodison Park. And it did take a big nick, Romeo's shot. And the goalkeeper having to wad away to his left-hand side to make the save. Boy, did he make the save. Burnley play tomorrow, but if it was to end 1-0, 0-0 or 1-1, or even a Southampton win, Burnley would be in the Europa League next year without kicking a ball. My word. And I wonder what Chris Ford and my little rant early on this week. It's I have to tell you that the rant I did, whilst we got a break in play, but in fact we'll come back to that in a minute, because Southampton have a throw midway inside the in the Everton box, or the Everton half, I should say. It's so tense here, it's even getting to me, the commentator. Still 0-0, but what a first half Southampton are putting in. They're putting a real shift here. Good ball over the top, and a chance here now. Can they get the... Oh, it's out of play for a goal kick, but Lamina was running towards it, and he just couldn't get there. But I'd like to get Chris's views on the rant about the Gaetan Bong situation. It's actually gone viral, I have to add. A lot of I've actually gone down very popular with my colleagues in the office, and he actually they actually praised me for it. And now they shared the video, and now it's had nearly 600 views. So the rant has gone on quite a bit, and I'm sure one or two of the guys from the office, if you are listening to us, give me a shout out, and I'll mention you over the airwaves. 30 and a half minutes gone, and it's 0-0 here at Goodison Park, which is a good result, of course, for Burnley. They would qualify for Europe mathematically. I know it's more or less 98% safe. That's been kept in by Cedric. Near side, can he get the cross in? It's a good cross towards the back. Lamina just couldn't reach him in the end. But, well, it did look as if it was out, but the referee and the assistant on the near side was allowing it. Advantage played. There was a foul by... They should bring it back for the free kick. I don't think they have done. It was a foul there on Bertrand, and I'm sure... I hope the referee's brought that back. I don't think he has. He's played an advantage. I'm not sure what advantage Southampton could have had there. It's a pot shot from about 30 yards out. Balassi there with a... That is late. Very, very late by Yannick Balassi. And Højbjerg did have the initial shot that actually hit the top tier of the Gladys Street, and it's a goal kick. But and it's good to see Seamus Coleman. It's the first time I've actually covered Seamus Coleman since that horrific tackle by Neil Taylor in that game in Dublin between Ireland and Wales just over a year ago, which really was one of the most sickening things I've ever seen in nearly 35 years of nearly 30 years of watching football as a man and a boy. It really was one of the most horrific things, but it's good to see him fully fit and really in action today, Seamus Coleman. Good to see him. Good to see him knocking about now and looking very sprite now. Good to see. Still 0-0 at Goodison Park, and a good first half here, but yet to produce a goal. Oldham have scored. That's a great result now. If they beat Northampton, Marchdale will be doomed if it stayed that way. And well, as I said, my video's gone global, and I'm sure Reg the Brighton fan will not appreciate me saying this, but you're named and shamed. Anyway, we're watching another South Coast team, a very much legitimately run club who was never bitter about things, Southampton, as they come forward now with Cedric, and he chips that ball in towards Charlie Austin, but he can't find Austin. But it was Tadic, in fact, he was looking for, but there was quite a number of players that Shane Long, of course, big burly centre forward. They've got Nathan Redmond, of course. He's pacey as anything, a guy that promised so much in his days at Birmingham. But Oldham, a town I've got a lot of respect and a little bit of heart for, winning 1-0. They're a decent little outfit, Oldham Athletic, and I hope they stay up. And it would be a shame to see a team of their stature relegated to League 2. They deserve to be a lot higher than that. They deserve to be top half League 1, maybe lower end Championship club, if they get the right backing and the right finances. But at the moment they're struggling at the moment, but they're winning today at Northampton 1-0. So we'll be bringing you up to date with all the League 1 scores. League 2, Barnet were relegated, and a good ball towards the penalty area, but taken out of the air brilliantly by Alex McCarthy, who's not put a puck round. Good cross by Coleman though, decent ball. As we come up towards the final 11 minutes of this first half, we will take our customary 5-minute break for refreshments and everyone to calm down after what's been a rip-roaring first half, but so far hasn't produced any goals, but there's been a couple of terrific saves in there for Jordan Pickford. We've had a goalmouth scramble. Everton really haven't offered too much as an attacking force. I don't know whether they've got the deck chairs out or not. Gamiadini's also warming up over on the far side. He's a man that could do with a goal or two as well. He's a good player. He was brought to the club by Claude Perel, scored a couple of goals and put in a terrific performance in the Carabao final last season when they lost it by 3-2. And they lost it by 3-2. Still 0-0 between Everton and Southampton inside the last 10 minutes. I do apologise, my phone is going off, but I'm not answering it at the moment. I mean, here we go again. This really is a tough game to call right now. And Burnley, Burnley, of course, if they get a draw, it's absolutely academic. As Pickford off limits there, took a chance with Austin around. Really did take the chance, although he was offside. Southampton fans there in absolute numbers. So a free kick to be taken by Keane. Keane plays it long towards the edge of the penalty area. Headed out once again. Headed on the second time. Now a chance for Schneiderlin to get forward. Coleman is there too. Coleman checks back, and Coleman runs at the defender, does really well, and he goes down, and that's going to be a free kick. Lemina absolutely barred him over. That is a foul. And a free kick definitely there to Everton. It was an awful tackle there by Lemina. It's very fortunate, in my humble opinion, not to be booked. So an opportunity here for Everton now to take the lead. Gillingham have gone 3-1 up against Plymouth. Panini will be absolutely over the moon about that one. And as that dented Plymouth's playoff bid. As I say, we'll take 10 minutes and then at half time, and then we'll keep you abreast of what's going on. Remember, Stoke have been relegated. West Brom have won again. Here's the free kick taken by Baines into the 6-yard box, and again McCarthy. Very accomplished goalkeeping under a real crowd scene, that one. Corner free kick from the right, and he took that superbly. Good clean catch there by the Southampton keeper, who's not put a foot wrong in the 37 minutes that we've been playing so far here at Goodison Park. And it's Southampton's turn to come forward with Romeo to Lamina, but he's lost out again, but it's an illegal foul by Davis, and a free kick to Southampton. John Moss, Johnny on the spot here. In fact, it was a foul, a shirt pull on Romeo rather than the free kick against Davis. Now Southampton, I've got another free kick. Vlasic has gone right into the back of Dusan Tadic, and has fouled him there quite comprehensively there, it's got to be said. John Moss has, apart from one moment where Everton should have had a corner, but it clearly came off a Southampton man, so far he's not had a bad game. But this is a real opportunity for Southampton. This is about 35 plus. Tadic will fancy this one. The two managers stand side by side in their respective technical areas. Lee Mason in between and the fourth official today. Won't it be the floater? Tadic is going to shoot it with his right foot. He's hit the two-man wall. It wasn't a particularly well struck free kick, but Cedric will try and hook it again. He's gone to the far side. Lamina takes charge here for Southampton. Plays the ball back to halfway, and Hoyt is there as well. And the ball forward again by Cedric, but it's going to fall straight into the arms of Jordan Pickford. And again, please, 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 no more live stream links. You will be barred from YouTube. How many more times? There will be complaints going into YouTube from all my subscribers. If you want to comment, you comment on the game. You comment on the game. You do not send links. That's wrong. That should be illegal, actually. So let's get that absolutely straight. And we'll get the settings set up in the second half. Meanwhile, Southampton inside the area. Austin tries to shoot inside the box and prodded away by Keane for a throw-in. For one moment then, Austin had the opportunity and he just couldn't take the chance. It was a good block by Coleman. 39 minutes gone. Still no score. It's not for the one to try, and I can assure you that. Good football though by Southampton. They have to go for the jugular. A win and a draw, a win or a draw would still do, because it would keep them alive going into the last week of the season. And here they come again with Lamina into the penalty area. Lamina does well. Ball back out. And still Southampton have it. Hoypier now knocks it into towards Austin. Austin does well. And Austin can't get it out from under his feet. And away goes Everton again now. And it's Drissa Gay who brings the ball away now for Everton. Back to Baines, and Baines gets it back to Michael Keane. And now Jagielka forward, and Coleman now with 4 minutes of the first half to go. Seamus Coleman bursting down that near side. What a difference he makes when he's on the field, and Coleman has done terrifically well. Hooks the cross back. There's just no one in blue waiting in the penalty area, but Drissa Gay has made it now on the near side, and he plays the ball into the penalty area, and again a very good decisive punch there by McCarthy, and once again he had to go for a crowd scene. It's a throw into Everton halfway inside the Southampton half. They've taken it quickly. Ball into the area. There's a Southampton player down there, and he now will have to receive treatment. It's Lamina, and he's going to need some attention. One gets the feeling here, and it may have been that tussle there with Seamus Coleman. In fact, that ball did go out of play. I'm surprised that the linesman, he was well in line with it. It clearly goes out of play. I tell you what, that would have been controversial if Everton had scored there. Not because of the foul, but because the ball had clearly gone out of play there on the far side. Just seen a reverse angle of that, and I cannot believe that. I don't think the assistants have missed one or two tricks in this first half. Meanwhile, we're just got a break in play here. And it really is, it's always that start of the season when the nails are being bitten. Mark Hughes taking one on his shoulder. A real tough character in his playing days, of course. I remember him playing for Manchester United for many years, and then he went on to Chelsea. Had a bit of success at Chelsea, winning the FA Cup, of course, under Ruud Gullit. Won the FA Cup 4 times, won the Premier League, I think, about 3 times. Won the League Cup, won the Cup Winners' Cup, of course. Such a great competitor, Mark Hughes. Had spells at Barcelona and at Bayern Munich. You know, did it all as a player. Here he is now, trying to get Southampton out of this sticky situation they find themselves in, but they've done themselves some good with a good performance here today. They won that must-win match against Bournemouth. This is another must-winner for them here at Goodison Park, and Southampton really defending stoutly. You've got to give them credit. They've attacked well as well, and unlucky not to be in front here. They played really good stuff here, the Saints. That's out for a throw, and I don't think Sam Allardyce will be too happy with the way Everton have played in this first half. They've shown one or two glimpses of what they can play when they get the right service, but at the moment it's not really been good enough really in the final third from an Everton viewpoint, and that's a little bit of a concern for big Sam Allardyce. We're into the final minute of normal time in the sunshine at Goodison Park this Saturday night. Northampton sadly have equalised against Oldham. It's Northampton 1, Oldham 1, so maybe a little glimmer of hope for Rochdale, but at the moment it's Everton on the break, on the attack here, deep inside Southampton territory. Given away now, Austin to lead the charge for the Saints, who would love an away win and would put the pressure well and truly on Carlos Calverhouse Swansea. That's a rugby tackle, that, by Charlie Austin. Professional foul if ever I've seen one. Yellow card for the former Burnley man. Coleman winning the tackle well, and Austin there clearly pulling him back, and that tackle wouldn't have looked out of the place it took in him or Murrayfield, but at Goodison Park it gets him a yellow card. A free kick to Everton, which was just played in the 1 added minute at the end of the first half, which is probably Southampton, you'd have to say, have dominated in terms of the opportunities. Fleetwood have gone 2 up against Walsall, and it looks as if Joey Barton will be inheriting a team that's going to be very much alive in League One next season, and I'm sure Andy Pelly will give him a few quid to spend. Good to see Joey Barton actually back in the game. He served Burnley for 2 seasons with great distinction, and it was just a shame the way it ended for him there in terms of the way the FA treated him over the betting parole. We've got about 10 seconds of stoppage time to play, and then we'll have the obligatory half-time cup of tea. Bring you full second half coverage of this crucial Premier League fixture. In fact, there's no time for the free kick, so Southampton very much the team in the ascendancy. Jordan Pickford's been the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, but at half time it's 0-0. Austin with the best chance for Southampton. Everton really haven't offered that much as an attacking force, which is quite a frustration for Sam Allardyce, but the Southampton fans are believing at the moment, and they certainly should believe. But here in the sunshine at Goodison Park, no goals to bring you, but plenty of excitement, plenty of drama. But at the moment, as things stand, Burnley are in Europe mathematically, but there's still 45 minutes to go. So Southampton very much the better team
I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes time. Until then, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Join us for the second half, but it's at Goodison Park here, and it's must win really, or must not lose for Southampton. It's Everton 0, Southampton 0 at Goodison Park. See you in about 5 minutes. Welcome back to Goodison Park as we just await the teams to come out for the second half. I'll just to bring you up to date with what's going on in the Women's FA Cup final at the moment. It's 0-0 between the Arsenal ladies and the Chelsea ladies at the moment. But let's have a look at what's been happening in League One this afternoon or this evening, because these are the final round of fixtures. These are all half-time scores. So let's start with the game between Wimbledon and Bury. That's 2-0 at the break. Blackburn 1, Oxford 0. Doncaster 0, Wigan 0. Fleetwood 2, Walsall 0. Gillingham 3, Plymouth 1. Northampton have turned it around sadly against Oldham, a town I have a great respect for. I wouldn't like to see them get relegated. Portsmouth and Peterborough, that's 0-0. So too Peterborough and Portsmouth, that's 2-0 to Portsmouth, sorry. Rochdale, Charlton's 0-0. So too is Rotherham and Blackpool, a game where Russ is actually at tonight and I hope he's okay. Scunthorpe and Bradford 0-0. Shrewsbury 0, MK Dons 0, and Southend 0, Bristol Rovers 0. And I think there's more. Is there more to come? Let me just check. Have we got all the scores in? Yes, we have. So that is the situation at the moment in League One, and so let's just see the permutations as things stand at the moment. Wigan would still be champions on goal difference from Blackburn, who are already up in second place. Shrewsbury are third. They're in the playoffs. Rotherham are there in the playoffs. So too are Scunthorpe and Charlton as things stand. And Plymouth, it looks as if they are going to miss out. Portsmouth as well. At the wrong end of the table, it's Rochdale out of the bottom four. Oldham in it at the moment, in real trouble. And I really didn't want it to happen to Oldham today, but it looks as if they could be in real peril at the moment, and I hope they sincerely are not. It really is a sad sight at the moment, and I do admire Oldham as a town. It's a lovely little town and they've got a lovely little football club, but at the moment it's not going their way whatsoever at all, and it's really sad to see. It's Oldham going down in the bottom four, and that is a real sad sight at this moment in time. But there's still another 45 minutes still left to play, and you never know. You never know what may happen in the next 45 minutes. Anything can still happen, but this is football. As I say, anything can still happen. We're waiting the second half here at Goodison, as Everton and Southampton still having their customary half-time cup of tea. What a sad end to the season for Bradford, who were right in that top four. And please, for the love of God, no live streams. I am fed up of these live stream links. So what we're going to do is we're going to take them off, and we're going to borrow those for the second half. I do apologise, folks. You know, the comment section are there for the comments on the game. They're not there to put live streams on. It's taking people away from my commentary stream. I work so hard to build my channel up, and yet other people are just, everyone is just giving me absolutely grief about it. Well, I do appreciate what what everyone's doing at the moment. It's been a long day, but it's been a good day. West Ham are safe. They won 2-0 today at Leicester. West Brom are safe for the moment anyway, with a late victory over Tottenham Hotspur. And it's been an unbelievable afternoon in the Premier League. So we're waiting for the second half to begin, and we're still waiting at the moment for the teams to come out. And there's coming out here. It's been a great advert for football. It's been a great advert for the Premier League. The Premier League's been terrific again this year. It's just a shame it's been a bit of a one-horse race with Manchester City winning the league in all of a sudden. They're going to be actually presented with the title tomorrow. They're going to be presented with the trophy, so you know when the season's coming up towards the end. But World Cup announcements, they'll be coming up as well next. That'll be coming up in June, and hopefully we'll bar the live streaming from that. So they're all being I'm just reporting all these spammers as well. I don't know how these people have a live, to be quite honest, and I'm also reporting him as well because he's we are a family show, by the way, so I don't know who Lanu is, but we're getting rid of him. So most of these people are now gone, and hopefully now we're ready to start the second half, which is actually got underway. So we're just 25 seconds in, we're back underway. Everton now attacking the Goddess Street end in the second half, and there's no changes from either side as far as I can make out. So a free kick early doors for a foul and Chet Tesson or Tosson to Everton. Romeo is down in a bit of a heap as well. Just to remind you of the colours: Everton in blue, Southampton in red and white. Red shirts on the sleeves and white down the centre of the shirts. And it's Alex McCarthy in an all orange goalkeeper's kit with a 3 kick, and it goes all the way through to the John Pickford at the other end. He's in an all green goalkeeper's kit as well, with the green jersey, green shorts and green stockings. Everton with a record are in white shorts and white stockings, and Southampton in black shorts and red and white hoop stockings as well. And again, the ball out of play on the far side. Remember, a point would be good enough for Burnley to actually qualify for the Europa League next season without a ball being kicked. At the moment, they go to Arsenal tomorrow in Arsene Wenger's final match as Arsenal manager. And if I'm just going to warn everyone at this point: if you see or hear any more spammers, people or fellow subscribers, please let me know, and we'll have those wrapped up by the end of play this evening. And of course, second half, which means your opportunity to choose the JB man in a match from the 60th minute onwards. Get your thinking caps on, and the player out on the field that gets the most votes will get the award of JB man in a match. Here's Seamus Coleman now on the right hand side for Everton. They're attacking the Goddess Street end in the second half. And thank you very much, absolutely anonymous. You have done very well indeed. You've done well for me, and I hope they never appear on this channel ever again, that is for sure. Here the ball back to Pickford, who made 2-3 brilliant saves in the second half. Long ball forward up towards Tossen, but Toussaint I think is his name, and his pronunciation anyway. This is Tom Davis. It's an easier name to pronounce. This is Schneiderlin now. Schneiderlin just playing a cool ball to Michael Keane. Keane now plays it out towards the far side, but he's lost out, and it's the first time I've commentated on Michael Keane since he's left Burnley, so this is a momentous moment. Last time I commentated on Michael Keane was the 2-2 draw at the back end of the season between them and West Ham. A game I remember for all sorts of wrong reasons, because it was a terrific game, but we had transmission problems as well, bringing it to you delayed. It's one of the toughest parts of bringing you live football is the live gremlins, of course. Here comes Southampton inside the Everton area. They worked it well down that right hand side, down that far side. Main stand opposite me with all those executive boxes. Wayne Rooney's in one of them today with his with the whole of his family. Of course, Colleen Rooney's there today as well, his childhood sweetheart, of course. Holding a very big family there, Wayne Rooney, almost like the Beckhams. 0-0 between Everton and Southampton. We've had 4 minutes of the second half. Nothing really much has happened yet in this second half yet, folks, but you know, I thought the first half was terrific. Gareth Southgate there, England manager, looking on. He's been to Burnley a few times this season. Looking at Jordan Pickford, I can't really get my head around him being number one, considering the form that Nick Pope has been in. And that's not me as a... And I'm talking purely and simply as a commentator here. I'm not as a Burnley fan, but I've commentated and watched Nick Pope quite a number of times, and he's never failed to let me down in any of the occasions. From what I've seen, he's never failed to not do well. He's done terrifically well. He's statistically the best English goalkeeper. He has to be there. A lot of the national newspapers are calling for him to be included in the starting lineups, and I think he should start in one or two of the warm-up games. But at the moment, Sam Allardyce's main concern at the moment is the lack of cohesion up front from Everton's point of view. Jack Towson has not been involved at all yet in this game. Second time I've covered Everton. Of course, we covered them in the Clarence match delay when they came to Turf Moor, came on stuck 2-1. It was Burnley's first win in 12 games and propelled them on that terrific run, which has seen them now put them, touch wood, on the verge of European football. Not mathematically there, but 99.9% almost there. They just need that 100% confirmation today. That would be brilliant, and it would take the pressure off going into the Arsenal match tomorrow. Well, it might actually be not a bad game all round from a neutral's point of view, because at least then both teams can relax and probably play their absolute best. And the Everton fans, well, there certainly are angry birds at the moment. There's no doubt about that. The team really has been frustrated by a top-notch Southampton performance that arguably should be winning this football match. They've really played well. Ball back towards McCarthy, whose handling has been first rate today. I've got absolutely no qualms that he has played out of his skin whenever he's been caught up on McCarthy. Here's the flick kick away from Pickford. Pickford very long up the field, but again Southampton have the possession and the ball headed forward. They're playing with some vigour here at the moment. Confidence is oozing after that victory over Bournemouth a week ago. Bournemouth beat Swansea, and it sets up this intriguing clash. At the moment we've got no goals, but I'll tell you something else, this has not been a game that's not been short of incident or drama at all. Here come Everton charging forward with Tosin, and surely he was fouled there. Check Tosin was fouled. That's surely got to be a free kick, so absolutely on us. Reiterating what I've said, Northampton leading at 2-1, and he wants Oldham at the moment. Oldham in the bottom four, sadly, and I so desperately don't want them to go in there. Oriol Romeo has been booked, by the way. Rochdale are out. Keith Hill's side could well stay up. The cup shockers of this season, along with Wigan, could well be staying up. But Oldham, if they can get another goal in that second half down at Northampton, they can still stay in that division next season. It would be a shame to see a club like Oldham in League 2. It really would. Free kick to Everton now. Goodison Park holds its breath. The ball comes in there. There was Keane had gone down there, but it was purely accidental. There was no great appeals from the Everton players for a penalty. Purely accidental, I felt. Still 0-0. We're coming up towards... We've just had 8 minutes of the second half here at Goodison. The ball back towards Pickford. Pickford now hits it away. I don't know what sort of reception when Everton, if they do decide to do a lap of honour at the end of this final home game of the season, I don't know what sort of reception they're going to get from the Everton fans. It's been a season of real missed opportunity and frustration, really, for Everton. They were hoping that Koeman, who had really spent heavily in the summer, that would absolutely break into that top six and really gate crash that top six, but they haven't done so this season. And Bertrand has won a corner, and it's going to be a corner to Southampton, and the Southampton fans now really now cranking up that pressure now down at that end of the ground, as as Southampton look to get that goal that would put them into the lead. They're there with their striped blue, red and white striped shirts. Tadic to take the corner. He's been an absolute talisman since he's been at the club for some. He's been there now for some 4 years. Tadic with the left-footed corner into the penalty area and headed away. Really good corner that one, Tadic. But Everton were very strong defensively, like Big Sam's sides usually are in that aspect. Still 0-0 here at Goodison Park. Now Everton have possession, and now Jagielka just slows things down here. Ball out towards Keane. Keane now to Coleman on the near side. And Coleman now trots over the halfway line on the right hand side. Bertrand is facing him. And that's been a key battle, that battleground, that right hand flank between Coleman, the right hand player, and of course Bertrand, the left. Two internationals really going for an hammer and tongs. 10 minutes of the second half gone at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Southampton 0. Southampton player went tumbling, no free kick given. And here come the Saints, who were much marginally the better team in the first half and are playing with a real swagger about them. Panini will be happy because Gillingham have gone 4-1 up against Plymouth. Meanwhile, it's Southampton attacking and the ball post! A goal! A goal for Southampton! Do you know what? It's a goal that's thoroughly deserved. It's Nathan Redmond, the substitute. I'm sure he came on at half time for someone, but it's Nathan Redmond who's come on at half time. And what a substitution for Mark Hughes, and Southampton are in the lead, and as things stand, West Bromwich Albion are going to be relegated from the Premier League, and that could even send Swansea, I think, as things stand, into the bottom three. Oh my word, this relegation battle has taken a huge turn there. There's the cross. In comes Redmond with the header at the back post. And it's the Southampton fans who are celebrating now. Pickford right through his legs. Accurate pinpoint ball from Cedric. And Mark Hughes' side have been the better team. There's no two ways about that. And they've got their just desserts. Everton 0, Southampton 1. It's Nathan Redmond, the substitute. It's his first goal of the season, and what a time to get it for the substitute. He really has come on there. He's made an absolute superb impact. So as things stand, Oldham are going down. Chelsea leading in the Women's FA Cup final. As you can see, and as you can hear now, it's 1-0 to Southampton. Redmond, the substitute, has come on. He replaced Lamina, actually. I didn't actually realise at that particular moment. And Funes Mori came on for Balassi. So there were two half-time substitutions I didn't see. And meanwhile, there's another substitution there for Everton. As I think it's, I don't know who's come off. Is it Czech Tosin? Someone else? Can you someone check for me there? But it's Nias. Yes, it's Vlasic that's off, and Nias is on. So he's going to go two up top here, Allardyce. So Nias is on. But both teams made half-time changes. I didn't even realise they made half-time changes because we were running through the half-time scores from the League One and the permutations of that. And I didn't know Redmond was on the field, but he is on the field now. He replaced Lamina, and it's worked out. It's an absolute treat. There's Les Reed there, and there's the Southampton owners there. Les Reed on the right hand side, and well, Burnley in Europe it is, if it's confirmed today. What a story. But what about that Southampton as things stand now? Look at this, 16th place Huddersfield, 17th Swansea in the bottom three. West Brom are joining Stoke in the Championship as things stand at the moment. That is a live table right now. Has things stand in the Premier League right now. This relegation battle is going to go right to the wire, and what a game that's going to be now on Tuesday night if Southampton get 3 crucial points today at Swansea. Everton corner, still a long way to go yet. Southampton are not over the line yet. Everton may well have something to say about that. Here comes And they go for looking for a free kick. Tom Davis certainly did. He took the corner originally. It came to nothing. He got the ball again and he ran in. But Nathan Redmond, who came on for Lamina as a substitution. And there it is. Perfect header. Pickford badly positioned. And Everton shocking defending again, it has to be said. And Nathan Redmond, the former Birmingham City man, could have scored the most crucial goal of Southampton's season. He came on at half-time for Lamina. I must admit I didn't catch that, to be honest. Well, we were too busy reading the half-times from elsewhere. In the Women's FA Cup final, Chelsea leading in that one by goal to 0 over Arsenal ladies. So it looks as if Emma Hayes, who's heavily pregnant with twins, could well be going on maternity as an FA Cup winner again. An hour gone and it's not looking good for Bill Kenwright and his Everton troops. Bill Kenwright, glasses off. Here comes the kick away from Pickford. Wow, what a turn up in fortunes. And you've got to say, on the balance of play, folks, Southampton have more than deserved it. Earlier today, Watford 2, Newcastle 1. Bournemouth 1, Swansea 0. Drexler Swansea to the bottom 3. Stoke were relegated, of course, losing 2-1 to Crystal Palace. West Brom beat Spurs, but it might not be enough now because of this scoreline here at Goodison Park. And Leicester's season, Peter, it's an absolute meltdown because they've lost 2-0 to West Ham, who have saved themselves. So it looks as if it's going to be three battling to avoid one place, and it looks as if it's going to be between Southampton, Swansea and Huddersfield Town, who have to go to Manchester City tomorrow. And it might not be a good afternoon if you're a Swansea or an Huddersfield fan. They've got 3 games to go, Huddersfield, funnily enough. And 2 of them are away from home against bigger teams. Here's the corner from Baines into the penalty area, headed forward and hooked away again. Southampton really defending terrifically well. Here's Gay, plays that in towards the penalty area. Header 1 and wide. Michael Keane was up from the back. He stayed forward, headed it from just left of the penalty spot, but couldn't get the accuracy on the header to cause any problems for Alex McCarthy, who up until now, apart from some great pieces of agility and great pieces of handling to catch balls and punch balls and all sorts, he hasn't had a meaningful save to make. That's all displeased Sam Allardyce. What a game that's going to be on Tuesday night between Swansea and Southampton, because I tell you what, winner will stay up. Southampton win that, they are staying up. Wayne Rooney out with a knee problem in one of the executive boxes watching it with his kids. They've all got Everton shirts on, but it's not going to be an happy day for him. A happy day for Everton Football Club. Rotherham have taken the lead against Blackpool 1-0. Bradford are winning against Scunthorpe in League One as the jostling for playoffs and relegation issues take shape. Wigan, I think, are going to be champions still on goal difference as the way things are at the moment. Blackburn winning, but goal difference. Scunthorpe have equalised. It's 1-1. A draw could do with them both, the way West Brom are playing. Well, West Brom could be relegated at this stage, Chris, if it stays this way. But at the moment, from a Burnley perspective, we're in Europe. We're just less than 27 minutes away from European football, when the pressure may well be off now. If Southampton score again, it could well be all over as a contest. And it would sum up Everton's season in a nutshell. Now, the referee's having a word or two here with Tadic, and I don't know who the other player is. Lucas Murray, he was the half-time substitute. Flores Murray, sorry. It's Southampton winning. And at the moment, it's relegated West Bromwich Albion. Ball played into the penalty area. Can Southampton score again? They've been the better team, there's no doubt about that. Ball played back to Pickford. I think the referee blown for an infringement. Look at all these Everton players. They brought their families. Ashley Williams is out at the moment. Northampton, Oldham have equalised. It's 2-2. They might well be back in contention to stay in League One next season. Oldham Athletic, who who were Littlest League Cup runners-up as recent as 1990, battling to stay in the third tier of English football. A club that was managed so brilliantly for so many years by former Everton legend Joe Royle. They fought so many relegation battles over the years, Oldham, but none as tight as this, I'm sure. Bill Kenwright and Farhad Bashiri, the two men at the helm of Everton Football Club, look on in horror because their team have not just been beaten, they've been absolutely battered here by Southampton, who have shown their class, they've shown their pace, and they've shown their prowess on the counter-attack. And here they go again. Redmond is now on that far near side, and he almost got him through again. I tell you what, Southampton look absolutely dangerous every time they attack. Everton really need to get their fingers out, and Nias has got Seamus Coleman away down this near side. Coleman in towards Nias. Nias inside the area. Chairs shoots, and again the Southampton players putting their bodies on the line. 25 minutes left to play. We play 65 minutes. Cross comes in from the left hand side towards Nias. Nias, the angle is tight. Turns, gets the ball back into the 6-yard area, and Tosin couldn't get on the end of it. Oh, that could have been the equaliser. And that's the first real opportunity that Everton have had in the entire game. They've had to wait the best part of 65.5 minutes for it. But when it came, it almost produced an equaliser. Full credit to Nias for the cross. Coleman nearly got there, and Tosin was in a whisker of equalising then, which would have brought the relegation issue back into even more sharper focus. It still remains 1-0 to Southampton. But it would have been a goal that Everton have barely deserved on balance. But there you go. Still 1-0 to Southampton, and they're hanging on for that. I tell you what, 6 points from those two games against Bournemouth and Everton. If he targeted those 6 points RQs, boy, are they priceless 6 points. But Huddersfield are going to be the team now very much in danger now, because they've got to go to Manchester City, and they've got to hope and pray they get something from Arsenal on the last game of the season, because the next two are away from home. First starting with Manchester City, and I just can't see them picking up any points in the next two games. Maybe against Arsenal on the last day perhaps, but I can't see them getting anything against Man City tomorrow. Guardiola won't want his team to let up even at this late stage of the season. Goal kick to Southampton, 1-0. MK Dons winning against Shrewsbury in League One. I think MK Dons, we're already doomed at this point anyway, I think. But well, it's nervy when you're watching. It's nervy when you're commentating. You don't support any of these two teams, but then when Burnley are involved, and in some sheer coincidence, Mark Hughes could really help us out here, and he's doing his bit for us here, and he's doing his bit for his team's cause as well, because this will lift Southampton out of the bottom three to 16th place in the Premier League table. Can you believe this? They finished in the top 8 each of the last 4 seasons. Oxford have equalised at Blackburn. Yes, go on Oxford, 1-1, and that would really give Wigan the title there in League One. And they'd be the rightful winners, Paul Cook's men. They've been much the better team than anyone else in that league this season. Everton 0, Southampton 1. What a match we've got our hands here. I'll tell you what, Southampton will go to Swansea knowing now that the momentum is with them. And Swansea, they dare not lose at the Liberty Stadium, otherwise their 8-year stay in the top flight could well be over. One would have to say Southampton on a team in form at the bottom, picking up results just at the right time. They haven't won this game yet though, but they're going a long way towards it at the moment. A second goal for them would really wrap it up and really put the cat amongst the pigeons. They played terrifically well today. I've been impressed with the way they've gone about it. Here they come again. And Austin gets the ball. Charlie Austin pirouetted superbly. Now then, he's got Redmond on that side. He gets the cross in, and almost the second one then. And it needed Phil Jagielka to get that away, almost off his own line there for Everton. Tadic to Bertrand rather. I tell you what, if he hadn't connected there, I think that would have been an easy easy finish there for Cedric at the back stick. He was unmarked. Substitution for Southampton with just over 20 minutes to go. James Ward-Prowse is going to enter the fray. James Ward-Prowse, as I say, is going to enter the fray, and look at the reception that the departing player is getting at the moment. There is James Ward-Prowse. Tadic getting a great standing ovation. He's had a superb match. 69 minutes he's appeared for, but he's done really well in the 69 minutes, and he's going to be Ward-Prowse. In fact, he's going to have his first touch here direct from this corner. He's going to take it far side. Southampton now. A second goal would certainly see them through to a deserved victory. And here comes the corner, whipped in towards the penalty area, headed away by Keane. He was virtually unchallenged actually as he headed that away. And now it's hooked away again, this time again by Keane. Still 1-0 to Southampton. 20 minutes left of this tense Premier League encounter. Wimbledon 2, Bury already relegated, Bury 1. They were relegated I think about a week ago. Now what's happened here? There's a yellow card coming out for somebody. Is it more? What is it? Is it Yoshida? Has he already been booked? No, he hasn't. So Maya Yoshida is booked, and well, Rochdale have scored against Charlton. Thompson, a hero, what a guy, what a story. But that's a sad scoreline for Oldham Athletic, of course. But Thompson, who's had much besides health problems, it would be an absolutely lovely story if he was to keep Rochdale up, but if only it wasn't against their local neighbours. We're inside the last 20 minutes here. I also need updates as well from the Women's Cup final. Of course, we'll bring you the full-time score from Wembley as soon as we get that as well. But it's all about the Premier League and League One here as the season comes to the close, and the World Cup is now less than it's coming towards almost a month away now. 14th of June I think the games kick off, and we'll be across it here live on this YouTube channel for you. Myself and Chris Whiteman, aka Mike Claret, will be your commentators, your two match commentators for the tournament, and we'll both be sharing the best games for you. I'll be doing a bit of presenting whilst he's commentating on his games as well. But as I say, I'll give you more details of that. But Oldham need a goal in that relegation battle in League One. But in this relegation battle in the Premier League, it's Southampton who are doing their chances, no harm at all. But Everton going forward, Coleman, his cross was cut out there, and Schneiderlin has the ball back against his own side. Back plays a 1-2 with Davis. Back to Schneiderlin, near side, gets the crossing towards the penalty area. Guy couldn't turn there. Now there's a little bit of a scramble inside. Southampton desperate defending. They can't afford to slide in and bring an Everton player down in the area, otherwise it's a penalty. They can't afford any slip up, Southampton. Ball back with Pickford. He's about 40 yards almost out of his goal, but he was under no great pressure. There was only 3 Everton players near him. No Southampton players whatsoever. They were all back defending that Everton attack, that last Everton attack. 73 minutes gone at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Southampton 1 in the sunshine. A spring-like evening here as we come towards the final knockings of the season. The final day is a week today. And at the moment, Southampton are out of the bottom 3. Swansea going into the bottom 3 themselves. West Brom relegated, and also as regards 7th place, Burnley would be up there, would be staying in, would be assured of European football by virtue of the fact that they are going to be mathematically in the Europa League next season. And if they are, what a fantastic result all round. And here goes Redmond. What a player he is. And he's got away from 1. Now he's taking on Keane. It's 2 against 3. Southampton in Everton's favour. They just about bunched up enough there. There was a foul there, but the referee allowing advantage. He's done well. If he's trying to keep the game going, I have to say, Mr. Moss, he's done well. Good tackle again by Hoyt. He's not giving anything away there. As Nias was going forward now. What's happened here? John Moss is calling somebody over here. Oh, is he speaking to one of the Southampton players? Could it be for the earlier foul, maybe? He's going towards going towards Seamus Coleman. Speaking to Seamus Coleman here now. I don't know what the fuss is about here. What's the referee saying that we haven't? He said, I don't know why he had to do that. Just get on with the game, Jonathan Moss. Get on with the game. You did brilliantly there 2 seconds ago by playing the advantage, and then you held the game up for a needless conversation with Seamus Coleman. Quarter of an hour to go of this second half. Everton 0, Southampton 1. As things stand, Southampton are going to be 16th in the table. Swansea are going to go into the bottom 3. Huddersfield will drop to 17th. They've got to play Man City tomorrow at the Etihad. Offside against Tom Davis, free kick. And as regards Europe, Burnley would be mathematically playing Europa League football next season. And I will jump for joy if it is to stay the same. A draw would still be good enough. Everton need to score twice if they're going to keep their very fake European dreams alive. But it looks as if half their team have really jacked it in. Charlie Austin being told to get on there. I think it's Shay Log's on fire. Please can I have your shirt? Well, what an afternoon. Charlie Austin is going off. Final change for Southampton. Shay Long, the big bulky Irish centre forward, comes on. Doncaster 0, Wigan 1. That could be the moment that seals the title for Wigan Athletic then. As McCarthy, has played out of his skin today, whenever he's been called upon, takes the free kick, and it comes to absolutely nothing at the moment. It's been a great afternoon here. If you're a Southampton fan and you're a Burnley fan. Not so if you're a West Brom fan, Swansea fan, or a Huddersfield fan, or an Everton fan for that matter. Looks like half the team from Everton have just jacked it in and already got their deck chairs out. Oh, there's a little bit of a coming together. It's a Southampton's ball. Free kick. 5 yards inside the Everton half. Steidler the man penalised. He's going to get booked. Was a bitey challenge to 2 there by Steidler. He's got that sort of feistiness about him, Morgan Steidler. Oh, he went right through Shedlog there. No need for him to make that challenge. Referee quite rightly books him. Everton 0, Southampton 1. Final change, I think he's going to be David Klassen that's going to come on as Southampton look for that killer second goal. They've been superb throughout, Southampton. They've really been stout defensively. Remember, you've got about 10 minutes. Vote for your JB man of the match. Please get your vote in for JB man of the match. Otherwise, I'll have to pick one myself. At the moment, there's so many candidates for Southampton at the moment. Blackburn are 2-1 up against Oxford. It need not matter, to be quite honest, because Wigan are winning in their match. So Wigan are still going to be champions. And here comes Southampton here. With Hoyt as he plays that out to Redmond. The goal scorer whose goal looks as if it's going to settle the issue. He hits a right-footed shot, deflects off Michael Keane, and Southampton will take a corner all day long. Because it's down at the Everton end of the ground. Now, I wouldn't be too surprised if he doesn't throw too many men forward. Rob Prowse to take the corner. What a performance they've put on today, Southampton. They've played absolutely, as I say, out of their skins. Our second goal would be just lovely. Rob Prowse with the corner. From the near side, the left hand side, into towards the 6-yard area. Flicked on towards the back post. It's another corner. Came off Flynn Westbury. Will Griggs on fire, someone says there. If it is Will Grigg that scored the goal at Doncaster, then it's an appropriate way to get Wigan up as champions. Meanwhile, back at Goodison Park, murmurs of discontent. There are supporters leaving early here. One or two of them are decided that 79 minutes is enough viewing time for them. So can Southampton kill that game off with a second goal? Corner comes in for Ward-Prowse. It was a particularly good one. Southampton have possession. Back to Ward-Prowse once again. The referee's blown here. I think there's an infringement. So David Klassen is going to come on. They may as well go for it, Everton. It's been a lack of firepower that's really ruined their season, really, as far as that's concerned. And Jagielka, the captain, comes off, and Klassen comes off. He gets a good round of applause from the Everton fans. Jagielka's been a very much an Everton veteran for so many years now. So a goal kick, I think, has been given. So as things stand, Southampton are 16th. Huddersfield would drop to 17th. Swansea in the bottom three. And West Brom in the relegation zone would be relegated. They're 10 minutes from losing their Premier League status. That's a free kick on Seamus Coleman, who's injured and will need some treatment, I think. But he looks as if he's going to be okay. He's a tough cookie, the Irishman. And John Moss having another consultation here with Seamus Coleman. And Coleman absolutely furious with, I think it was Bertrand. That's been a running battle all game. Some Southampton fans who just better not look, because this is a big moment for Everton. Can they get the equaliser? Baines, who's got a very good left foot, will take it from the right hand side. It's almost like a corner, incidentally. It's almost as if they're marking up for a corner. So here it comes, left footed in towards the 6-yard box, and Keane was there too. And Everton lose possession. Southampton just hoof it away as far as they can up the field. And now there's a little race on here between Klassen and Austin. And Klassen comes out the winner and gets it back to his goalkeeper. And it's hooked away now by Jordan Pickford. 3/4 of the way up the field. But it's going to be returned there by Hoyt, by Hoof. And he's gone to Redmond here. Logan's found Redmond. Redmond has the shot and over the bar with his right foot. He's in the mood tonight, Nathan Redmond. He almost got another on it, nearly settled it once and for all then. Everton lacking numbers. He went for glory and just couldn't keep the shot down. Gillingham are 4-2 up against Perth in the championship, in League One. Championship finish tomorrow. 3 games tomorrow from the Premier League as well. Man City against Huddersfield. Arsenal versus Burnley. We'll keep our beady eye across that one. And of course, Chelsea versus Liverpool in terms of battling it out for the Champions League places. Spurs' Champions League hopes took a shock turn for the worse in the Midlands this afternoon. West Brom won it by a 0-0, but it may be in vain for them at the moment because Southampton are winning 1-0. A goal from Redmond has really put them on the way here. 3 crucial points. It wouldn't keep them safe. Another win against Swansea on Tuesday would absolutely assure them of Premier League football next season. Then it would be a straight shootout potentially between Swansea and Huddersfield should it go to the final day. And what a final day that promises to be. A week on Sunday. Stoke are down. They lost 2-1 earlier today to Crystal Palace. West Brom are going down despite winning because Southampton here at Goodison Park are winning. And they've got a free kick. 25 yards right of centre. Shane Long has done what he's been told to do. Win possession, and look at Flumage Warwick. That is just awful, shocking defender, shocking free kick to give away. Awful tackle. 6.5 minutes left to play. Southampton 1-0 up. And I've been very comfortable, one has to say. Everton, apart from one moment when it looked as if they were going to get an equaliser, when Jack Tosson nearly turned in a lovely ball from Coleman. Apart from that, they haven't offered much else. Free kick to Southampton. Ward-Prowse to take it. Ward-Prowse shoots in at the near post. Pickford takes the ball comfortably. Short sleeves for Pickford. He's a very tough customer, the Everton keeper. Meanwhile, Everton going forward, and there's a foul there. That's an awful tackle. And that's got to be a booking at the very least. In fact, it's a red. It's Yoshida who's gone. Yoshida has been sent off, and Southampton's task now to hold this lead has been made doubly tough now because Yoshida has been booked, and it was a booking. He absolutely took out Nias. There's no doubt about that. He went for the ball, yes, but the ball had already gone. It was a late tackle, and Yoshida knows it, and he's now going to miss the last 2 games of the season. His season done and dusted. No wonder he slaps his head into shame. Southampton have to play with 10 men for 5 minutes more plus stoppage time. Everton will sense an opportunity here. So free kick comes in under one and wide. It was Keane again with the header, but it just lacked the direction and the conviction to even test McCarthy. And now Southampton having played all 3 substitutions, and now probably going to play with 1 defender down. But this is the goal again. Redmond's header. That's the moment that could still keep Southampton, get Southampton out of the bottom 3. They're 16th as things stand, but Yoshida has been sent off with 5 minutes to go to full time. It's still anyone's to the taking. This game is not finished by any means. The game's not dead and buried yet. Everton's still very much in this game. An equalizer would drag Southampton still further in the mire. Here's Redmond, and he must keep hold of the ball here. He's to the left of the penalty area. Good kill, get away from Keane. Redmond still into the penalty area. And he shoots, and he's at the near post though, and it was allowed Pickford. He was perfectly placed at the near post to punch it away. Now Everton come forward. Davy Klassen down the right hand side. What a thrilling finish here at Goodison Park. Ball towards the back post. Nias was waiting, and Nias will keep it in play. Far side, Nias for Everton. Ball back to Trezeguet. And now Tom Davis. What a finish here at Goodison Park. It's been a superb game. I'll tell you what, we get more crackers like this and what we've seen today, then the Premier League is certainly a league that's... This is what makes English football so much brilliant, and why we love it so much, because you never know what's going to happen. And Redmond here gets away from one. That was Seamus Coleman, and Wesley Hoot has got a vote from absolutely anonymous for man in the match, and I have to say he's played absolutely superbly, like a proper centre half. He's done everything he needs to, and I would say, so there's a vote for him. You've got about 3 minutes to make your vote now. When the 90th minute comes, we'll announce the man of the match. At the moment, it's Wesley Hoot who's going to win the man of the match award. The JB man of the match. You've got 3 minutes to change the voting for that. So if you want to choose your man of the match, please choose it now. Here comes Tom Davis, who's been very quiet in the second half. Here's Coleman now. Plays the ball into the penalty area. Nias was waiting, but he couldn't reach the ball. And now Southampton, and Redmond, who's come on, he's run an absolute colossal difference here. But here's Coleman now. He will not stop creating for Everton. Oh, that's a poor play of play, that. Trezeguet lucky to get the throw-in down for me. And he takes that throw, almost level with the Southampton penalty area on the right-hand side. Ball back towards the central of the goal. And here's Schneiderlin now, just to the right of area. Now Gay on the right hand side gets the cross, a little deflection, favours it, ball inside the penalty area, buzzing around it. Here goes Redmond again, pace to burn this kid, and he's taking the ball. It's 3 against 2 in Everton's favour though, and here comes, and the ball now, will it reach James Ward-Prowse? No, it just won't, but the clearance was deflected off him, and here he is now on the right hand side for Southampton. They're attacking the Park Road end. 2-2 between Wimbledon and Bury in League One. Bury already relegated. And here come Southampton again, the 10 men looking to keep possession, but they've lost it again. Oldham have got 5 minutes to save themselves at Northampton, otherwise it's League 2 football for them, and it would be sad to see a town like Oldham hosting League 2 football very next season. Really would. A team that was in the Premier League less than 30 years ago. Ball into the penalty area. Well taken again. 10 minutes, sorry. And that take from McCarthy got a universal round of applause from everybody connected with Southampton. Mark Hughes' team, they're down to 10 men, but they're fighting. They're fighting everything. And Everton's lack of fight is there for all to see. The glum faces around Goodison Park, well, tell the story. They are struggling to beat a team that have played absolutely out their skins, despite the fact they've gone down to 10 men. Everton 0, Southampton 1. It's going to be a real rebuilding job this for Allardyce in the summer. They've got one game to go away from home, but at the moment their last home game of the season is looking like ending in a real whimper unless they can find a couple of goals in the last few seconds. Here's a chance for Everton. Shot comes in, but I think the flag has gone up. It was David Klassen. I think there may have been a foul actually. He hits it straight at the goalkeeper. Now we've played the 90 minutes, 4 minutes at the end. And to confirm that Wesley Hooper's got the man of the match award. So the JB man of the match goes to Wesley Hooper of Southampton. He's had a magnificent game. Magnificent game. There was a push and it was a free kick to Southampton. 4 minutes for Southampton just to hang on in there. They've done absolutely superbly well. There's an injury here and we may well be in for a little bit of a late finish here, folks. But I've got to say, what a performance Southampton have put up. They took the game to Everton, away team. They took the league deservedly so, and what they've done, they've defended it like very so manfully. It's just been unbelievable. They've played out of their skin today, Southampton, and if they do end up with 3 priceless points, boy have they deserved it. They have earned it very well, and yes, the 10 men, they deserve to go down to 10 men. Yoshida's challenge, the 2 yellow cards he got were the right decisions, but at the end of the day, Southampton have done what they've done. Look at the owners there. Les Reed, if he was the man that suggested Mark Hughes, then what a brainwave Les Reed has. Look at the faces, on the smiles on the faces. There'll be even bigger smiles. They've travelled a long way. They've travelled the best part of 400. It's going to be a 700-mile round trip for these Southampton fans today. But it may well be worth it now if they can hang on here for 3 crucial points. And Hoyt again winning the ball, although he felt he was fouled there, but the referee not interested. It's a throw into Everton, level with the Southampton penalty area, edge of it. Here's Coleman on the right hand side. Coleman now, has he overrun the ball? Coleman now, he did overrun it a little bit and he's been fouled. Dead central here. Southampton pleading with the referee not to book another player, but he's going to be booked. It's a foul here. And it was Hoyt, our man in the match, in fact, that's been booked. I have to say, that doesn't look a foul. I think Coleman made a little bit of it. We're midway through the time added on. We've played 2.5 minutes of the 4. 90 seconds left as things stand. This, if they can survive this 3 kick, Southampton, and just absolutely just, well, Leighton Baines has got that deadly hammer of a left foot, and if they can survive this onslaught and just see it through the rest of stoppage time, then they'll have gained a very deserved victory. Everybody from Southampton holding their breath. Everyone around Goodison Park around holding their breath. It's Leighton Baines with his left foot. He curls it on a great save by McCarthy. Now in away to his left hand side. And look at him, he's being embraced by everybody in red and white for Southampton. Brilliant. His teammates are embracing him. Could that be a match-winning save? Superb hand to get it over the bar, but it's still not over yet. 30 seconds left, and it's Baines with the corner into the penalty area once again. McCarthy fishing it away. Now just again, knocking it back in there for Southampton. Or for Everton, rather. Klassen heading it forward. Still, he bounces about inside the Southampton penalty area. Good tackle again. And look at Southampton now. They're on the counter-attack. And they're just breaking away now, just breaking the play up. They're going down the left-hand side. There are 5 seconds of normal time to go. Southampton have deserved this victory. They're going to play it into the corner. Everton have to retrieve the ball. We're playing time added on at the end of time added on. There's no time left now. Precious little time as Pickford gets the ball forward to Coleman. Coleman tries to control, but again, the first challenge is coming from Southampton. And now they've got possession. They're nearly there now, Southampton. What a day it's been in the Premier League. Wigan have been confirmed as champions. They've won 1-0. And Southampton on the verge of winning this game. They've been penalised on the far side. We've played 35 seconds over the 4 allotted minutes. Everton coming forward now. All eyes on John Moss, the referee. Southampton want the whistle. Here come Everton again. Here's Nias. This has got to be the last flick for Everton. And it's Nias blading in towards the penalty area. McCarthy getting another good fist on it. Can Southampton just boot it away? We've played a minute over the 5. And here comes Trezeguet. Trezeguet playing it in. The shot comes in out of the area. Deflection is in. It's got in. How cruel. How cruel on Southampton. Tom Davis has just equalised. And Mark Hughes will be fuming. Will be absolutely fuming. Why? There was more than 4 minutes added on at the end. And a lucky break for Everton. Tom Davis celebrates in the Gladys Street end. But it's a goal that Everton have barely deserved. It was a shot from 20 odd yards out, and poor Alex McCarthy can't believe it. It took a cruel deflection to beat him. And how cruel on Southampton, who have been the better team. It looks as if they'd seen it out, then a poor clearance, but oh my goodness. Tom Davis, it was a pot shot, he deflected. Davis is going to claim the goal, but who did it get the oh, it's come off move. Our man of the match has deflected it in. And West Brom are still going to stay in the Premier League. And the only real team that's going to benefit out of this is still going to be Burnley. Funnily enough, because they're still going to be in Europe, because Everton are not going to win the game. But you've got to feel sorry for Southampton here. Oh, so cruel, so cruel. Rochdale have won against Charlton. There goes the whistle. Oh no. Poor Southampton. It did look as if they were going to get 3 crucial points. But then Everton, with a very lucky deflected equaliser from Tom Davis, has rescued a point. What a thrilling end to that game. Redmond's goal, Alex McCarthy was a contender in my book for man of the match, but we gave it to Hoof. And it was his deflection that beat McCarthy in the end. But Mark Hughes telling the players to go over to the fans, who will surely still applaud them because the effort they put in today, Southampton. This is how it stands now. Huddersfield in 16th place. Southampton still in 17th place. They're above Swansea, who drop into the trapdoor on goal difference. West Brom can still catch both those teams. And Huddersfield too. Well, probably not Huddersfield, but they can still get out of it. But remember, Southampton and Swansea have a game in hand, and that game in hand is between the two of them on Tuesday night. And what a game that promises to be. The winner of that surely will stay in the Premier League. A draw, and it goes to the last day. But I've got to tell you, what a performance. What a performance. Southampton did everything they possibly could. And it's a cruel game sometimes, football. It can be cruel justice. And Southampton should have won that match. They deserved to win that match. They were the better team. Everton only came good, really, as we came into the second half. Yoshida, well, maybe that red card turned the game, really. And Bill Kenwright and Yashiri, Farhad Mashira will be very relieved men, I'm sure, in that director's box, because it was looking a little bit grim. But what I can tell you is I can actually announce now, Burnley fans, listen to this. Burnley are in Europe. Burnley are in Europe for next season. Everton cannot catch them now. They would need 4 points. They only got 4 points, and Burnley are in Europe. It's been confirmed mathematically. So great news for Burnley fans and for myself. Burnley are in Europe for the first time in over 50 years. 1967 we were last in Europe. We're now 51 years later. We're back in Europe. Europa League we come. Here we come, and boy are we going to enjoy the ride. But as regards what's happened in the Premier League, what a performance. Stoke relegated. West Brom leaving it late to beat Tottenham, and have absolutely stayed up. And then Southampton so close to a vital 3 points. A deflected strike from Tom Davis has denied them a crucial win, and there we are. Wow, what a day in the Premier League, and you can relive it all on Match of the Day tonight. But I'm absolutely out of breath, but I'm really happy because we are in Europe. It is mathematically assured, and we can go in there with the pressure off against Arsenal tomorrow. What a fantastic, brilliant, and well done to Absolutely Anonymous. Great say. He said congratulations to Burnley. So happy for you and your fans. Great club, passionate fans. Well done. Do it with pride. Well, we've done it with pride. And if we get a good draw in Europe, get into the Europa League group stages, I will be so happy. Our season does start about 10-15 days after the World Cup final. But I'm sure Sean Dyche will have targets in place now that it is assured, and we can get those targets in very quickly before July the 1st, and they can integrate them into the squad. But wow, some performance, someday in the Premier League. West Ham are safe. They won at Leicester. They're safe for another season. West Brom survived for another week at least. Their late show at West Brom combined with this result today, but it's the big news today in the Premier League. Stoke City relegated after 10 years in the Premier League. Can you believe that? But there you go. But I've got to say, it's usually a tough justice really when your team's battling at the bottom end, and that's so you've got to feel for. And I'm joyous for Michael making it to Europe, because a draw would have been perfect, but you feel so sorry. You feel so sorry for Southampton because they didn't deserve that. Meanwhile, let's keep you abreast of what's been going on elsewhere and what that means now to first of all, we'll just get you up to date on what's happening in the Women's FA Cup final. It's finished. Arsenal women 1, Chelsea women 3. So Chelsea and Emma Hayes, who's now going on maternity leave, she's heavily pregnant with twins. Well, she's got a pot to put in, and at least now she can go on maternity knowing that she's won the FA Cup again as a manager, and a very good manager as well. League 1 results are in. Wimbledon 2, Bury 2, Blackburn 2, Oxford 1. Wigan the champions beating Doncaster 1-0. Fleetwood end the season 2-0 winners. Gillingham winning out 5-2 winners against Plymouth. We're still into stoppage time at Northampton, so Oldham need to score again to stay in the league. Portsmouth 2, Peterborough 0. Rochdale 1, Charlton 0. It may well be enough for Rochdale unless Oldham score in the whenever time remains. Rotherham 1, Blackpool 0. Scunthorpe 1, Bradford 1. Shrewsbury 0, MK Dons 1-0. Southend 0, MK Dons 1, sorry. And Southend 0, Bristol Rovers 0. But we're waiting on events at Northampton. There's going to stoppage time there. And I'm sure we're going to stick with it, and we're hoping to hear some reaction as well from Goodison Park as well. But what a day in the Premier League, and I'll tell you something, if we go to the last day, if Tuesday night's going to be great, just imagine the scene if we go to the last day of that. Oh my word, it's been an unbelievable season in the Premier League, it really has. And well, Everton can think themselves lucky they've got a point here. I'd like to get Mark Hughes' reaction before we leave you tonight. It's 7:30 in the evening, and well, what a Saturday it's been. The final Saturday of the season, and wow, some Saturday it has been. Well, it's been incredible. It's been a roller coaster of emotions for 90 minutes this afternoon. Everton were very much second best in this match. Southampton were definitely top dogs. Deservedly took the lead through Nathan Redmond in the second half, and then in the 95th minute, a deflected Tom Davis left footer took a cruel deflection of Wesley Hoyt, and it beat wrong-footed poor Alex McCarthy, who had a super match in the Southampton goal. Wow, that was some game. Well, there we are. We're now into 6 minutes at Northampton, and then we're going to keep our BDI over this one now, because we're into seconds now. If, as things stand, Oldham are relegated by 1 single point. They have to score to relegate Rochdale. Is there going to be a twist in the tail, or is it going to finish at Sixfields? If it ends the draw at Sixfields, Oldham have not done enough, and there goes the full-time whistle. And what a sad day for Oldham Athletic Football Club. Oh no. And my heart goes out to them, as joyous as I am of my team getting European football next season. Spare a thought for Oldham. Spare a thought for Oldham. A Premier League founder member 27 years ago. They're now playing 4th tier football next season. They have been relegated to the bottom tier of English football. And it's a lovely town, Oldham. If you ever go to Oldham, it's got a lovely town centre. It's a beautiful place. I've got a lot of lovely friends over that live there, and I feel sorry for them who live in the town, and they've been relegated by 1 point. And 50 points is usually enough to see you over the line. Northampton, who were already relegated at that point, along with MK Dons and Bury, they've drawn 2-2. But I've sent Oldham down with them. Oh dear. But Rochdale, Thompson's goal, he came back from a life-threatening injury, and he looks as if his goal has kept Rochdale in the League One next season. So cruel. You've got to feel for Southampton. You've got to feel for Oldham Athletic in League One. But Wigan are the champions. 98 points to 96 from Blackburn. Shrewsbury finished third on 87, and there we go. But well, you're out of here, I'm out of here too. I'm going to have a nice cold can of Guinness. After all that excitement, I think I need to lie down in a can of Guinness to quench my thirst on a very, very hot summer, spring-like evening here. And well, what a day it has been. Stoke City relegated, Oldham relegated from League One, Wigan champions of the Championship, Barnet relegated to the Conference for next season. Morecambe stayed up on goal difference, but Stoke City are down. That's the big story. They're, after 10 years in the Premier League, Stoke City are gone down. Southampton, West Brom got a late victory, and because of that result at Goodison today, they're still around for another week. If it's a draw in the Southampton game, Swansea game, they're still alive to the last day. But West Brom winning dramatically, West Ham making themselves safe, Watford beating Newcastle 2-1. That's sort of really gone under the radar, really, hasn't it, that result? And here at Goodison Park, a dramatic game, a dramatic finish. Southampton looked to have had the points all signed, sealed and delivered, but a 95th late goal in the 95th minute has denied Southampton 3 well-deserved points. Everton finished with a real flourish then at Goodison Park, but my goodness, you've got to spare a thought for Southampton. But the biggest story of all, Burnley are playing European football next season, and they've done it without kicking a ball. Well done to the Clarets. They've got to play Arsenal tomorrow, and they will know now that they've got Europe in the bag. So Burnley can go on that European tour for absolutely sure now next season. Well done to the Clarets. Southampton, hard luck for them. West Brom staying alive, and I'm sure that relegation scrap will go on for a long time to come. Thank you very much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. But me, JB, have a wonderful Saturday evening. Enjoy the rest of the sunshine. I'm off now to have a lie down and a beer because it's been a long old 90 minutes for me, and it's been an extraordinary, exciting 90 minutes. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it too. Have a lovely evening. Take care. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.